Hey, we're going to play Jellyfish, Too Much, Too Little, Too Late. So it starts with a G minor chord, to an F, to a C. And then the lick that plays over that is on the G string, from the 3rd to the 5th fret with a hammer on. And you can either bend this note or you can slide to the 7th. So, then on the B string on the 6th, up to the 8th, so. And then you're landing on the 5th, and then sliding from the 6th to the 8th on the E string. Then the verse progression is just if you bar the D, G and B string on the 3rd fret, and then you're holding down the bass note on the 6th fret on the E string. So it's a B flat chord. Say goodnight. And then you're changing to a B flat 6 chord, which all you're doing is you're adding on the D string on the 5th fret, that note. Say goodnight, your song. And then you're going to what you could call a B flat sus4 chord. So again, barring the D, G and B string, but this time instead of the 3rd fret on the B, you're adding the 4th fret on the B. So it should sound like that. So you're playing that and then you're pulling off. So say goodnight, oh song, you're true. Okay, and then you're going to an F sus4, which is on the D string on the 3rd, on the G string on the 3rd, and then on the B string on the 4th fret. So. And then you're playing this little lick in between, so it's on the D string, you're hammering on from 3 to 5, and then on the G, you're hitting the 3rd, back to the 5th on the D. So. And hitting a C chord on top. So, say goodnight, oh song, you're true. Faint refrain, back into the same chord. We hardly, and then it changes, it goes to a D minor, but it's a D minor with an F in the bass. So it's going to be on the D string on the 3rd fret, on the G string on the 2nd fret, and then on the B string on the 3rd fret. So, refrain we hardly knew, and then on the B string you're going from 3 to 1. So, and then on both the D and the G string, you're going from 3, and then you're moving your finger on the G string from 3 to 2 while holding the D string as well. So it should be. And just play that one more time. Okay, so we hardly knew. And then it goes back to the B sus4, but you're just going from a B flat. So hammering on the 3rd fret from 3 to 4. And then you're hitting the G on the 3rd fret on top. And then on the B string on the 6th fret. So all together. So fade refrain we hardly knew. And then it goes into what you could call a E flat chord. This is kind of a tricky one to play. I think this is how he plays it though. The E flat in the C position. So it's going to be on the 6th fret of the A string, the 5th fret of the D string, the 3rd fret of G string, the 4th fret of the B string, and then the 3rd fret of the E string. You're trying to keep this going, this melody line going. It's Can't even play it myself. That's what he's playing. So it's you're hitting the G on the top. So basically the melody line is so that's just the E flat. Then you're going to a D power chord, to a D7, which is, so D power chord, I'm sure we know. Then a D7, which is D, the 5th fret on the A string, 4th fret on the D string, and then the 5th fret on the G string. So then a G minor, and then you're just playing a G minor over F. So you have a G minor here, I'm sure we know how to play, and you're just taking that note on the 5th fret and you're putting it down to the third, so you're basically barring it all again. And then an E minor 7 flat 5, which you could play down here. So you could play it on the D string on the 2nd fret and then bar all of the 3rd fret underneath. That's an easy way of playing it. Or you could play it up here, which is on the 7th fret of the A string, the 8th fret of the D string, the 7th fret of the G, and then the 7th or the 8th of the B. So just one last time to make sure we're sure. Faint refrain we hardly knew. Then it goes to the chorus. It's a B flat to an E flat to an F to a lower F. So all I can say is too much, too little, too late. So you can play it here. It goes back in the same again, the B flat sus4 to an F sus4. So basically bar the 3rd fret on the D, G and B strings, but you're just putting your 4th finger again and then pulling off F sus4. You can rewind and you can look over the shape again, and you're playing that little lick again on the 3rd to the 5th on the D, and then you're hitting the 3 underneath it on the G. This time around you're playing what could be called a G sus4 underneath. So that's just 5 on the D, 5 on the G, and then 3 on the B underneath. Okay. Same again. And this time he plays this lick which follows kind of the bass. So G minor pentatonic kind of riff. I'm sure you can slow it down. Spare me the punchline. Goes to the D minor, to a B flat 7. Yeah. It's back to the E flat again. It repeats itself. To the D, D7, G minor over F, E minor 7 flat 5. And sometimes what he plays on the E minor 7 flat 5 is he'll do this like sliding lick. So you're just barring on the B and the E string, the 3rd fret, and sliding from the 3rd to the 5th. So yeah. play that again. Again, B flat, E flat, F, F. And it goes into the lead up to the solo. So you're just playing on the chords are pronounced on the beat 2 and beat 4. So it's 1, 2. So the G minor. Remember when there was only... The chords basically are G minor, B flat, C, and then A flat. You're just strumming them, not even strumming, you're like doing this like reggae nearly. And it's on beat 2 and beat 4. Remember when murder was only a killing time, an axe to grind. Now he's doing some fills, loyal workman I presume. So the first one is when murder was only killing time. So he's just sliding in from the 6 to the 8 on the B string. So again, that next lick is just on the 6th fret of the D, sliding to the 8. And then he does this one, which is pretty cool, like actually. So that all that lick is, if you know the song, you know the parts that I'm playing. It's on the D string, from the 5th to the 6th, and then he's hitting on the 4th fret on the B string on top. And ending it on the 5th fret of the D. As I said, this is on the B string. If you know the parts, you slow it down, you can play it along. So B flat, up to a C, axe to grind, A flat, G minor, what happened to the justice? Stay on the C now. Tobacco swords behind smoky shield. Back to a B flat. And it goes into the solo. A flat. So it's a A flat power chord. Down to what you call a G flat, technically and harmonically speaking. So it's and then this little lick. All that is the 1st fret on the A up to the 2nd on the E, and then you're going from the 4th on the A to the 1st. So it's, and then you're doing a chromatic lick on the D string, starting from the 3rd going down. So all together. Then back into it. Down to an F, down to an E, and then to an E flat. So it's the solos. Da 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 da. And then the solo on top of that. Yeah. So you're just playing a flat triad. So you're starting on the 8th fret on the G string, 9th fret on the B, and then back to the 8 on the E. and then from 9 till 11 on the B, and then the 8 on the E, so, and then to the 9th on the E, up to the 9th on the G. So all together. And then you're doing a bend on the G from the 8. So. And then you're bending on the G. So you're bending on the 5th on the G. It's a semitone bend. And then you're hitting the 6th on the A. So all together, I'll just play it again. And then on the C, on the 3rd fret on the A, you're bending again, a semitone bend. So. So. You're just doing an F or G flat, I should say, to be in the correct key. So it's that run that he does at the end of the solo. It's the 2nd fret on the E, 1st fret on the A, 4th fret on the A as well, 4th fret on the D, then the 3rd fret on the G, 2nd fret on the B, 2nd up to the 4th, and then you're bending from the 6th. And then you're just doing so that's an F sharp or a G flat, and then he's doing an E major arpeggio, so it's. And then ending on the E flat on the note on the 11th string, so on the 14th, 13th, 12th and 12th. And then the E flat chord. And it's changing key now, it goes up with semitone. So we were in B flat, now we were in the key of B, although technically speaking they call it C flat for some reason, but there you go. Na na na, same shape again. Da da. And the bass plays. Same shape again, it's what you call the B flat sus4, or in this case a B sus4. When we friend, we hardly know. And you hear the bass does this rundown, he's playing an E flat minor. And you're hitting, so it's E flat, and a C sharp in the bass, and then he goes to a B flat 7. E. Again, it's the same shape, it's just moved up a half step. E flat power chord, E flat 7, A flat minor, and it's A flat minor with a G flat in the bass. You'll hear it. You can rewind. It's basically the whole thing is just moved up a half step, so don't panic, it's not the hardest thing. So all together, that is. Then it goes into the last chorus, which is at B, E, up to an F sharp, to F sharp. All I can say is too much, too little. B, E, A, C sharp. B, E, F sharp, G, diminished 7. Okay, so all together, just play that chorus again. B, E, F sharp, B, E, A, C sharp, B, E, F sharp, and again, you're just changing one note in the F sharp, so on the D string you're moving from 4 to 5. All I can say is too much, too little, and all I can feel feels like the heaviest weight. And all I can say is too much, too little, too late. You're just repeating the intro just up a half step. So A flat minor, G flat, or F sharp, whatever you want to call it. Da 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 da. And you're ending on an A13. So G flat minor, A flat minor I should say, to a G flat chord, to a D flat major, and then an A13. An A13, you could play it the 5th fret on the top string, then you're going to mute the A string, you're going to hit the 5th on the D, the 6th on the G, and then the 7th on the B. Should sound like that. Da, 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 da. Hopefully that will fill you in on some of it, and if there's any problems or anything, any feedback, let me know. Cheers.